Is it everybody's or is it just?
Is it working?
You might need to turn them back on.
No, they're out. They're out.
Everything's out. We get hit with electrical here. The lights went out several times, flickered. Still,
If we don't have a mic, it won't record.
They come on
yeah, it's
now.
on. It's on.
It's on now.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, April 11th, 2024, 6 p.m. I'd like to ask Jeff Baden, Senior Pastor at Hamilton Life Church, if he'll come forward, provide our invocation, and lead us in our pledge. If everyone will stand.
Lord, we thank you for this evening. Lord, we thank you that every day that you give us is a gift, and we rejoice in you. And we just pray that tonight in this meeting, and just that the normal state of our lives, that your joy would be our strength, Father. God, we pray for your wisdom as decisions are made today. Lord, tonight, God, I pray your wisdom over each city council member, Lord, over our mayor. Give them guidance, give them understanding, give each one of them discernment, Lord. What is worth more than silver and gold, God, is your wisdom. Lord, that's what we desire, and that's based in the fear and the reverence of you. God, we yield everything to you. Have your way with us tonight, God. Do what you need to do. And Lord, I'm just reminded of Samuel, Lord, that his heart, it was after you. And God, you, not a single word that he said fell to the ground. And Lord, I just pray that over our meeting tonight. But we seek your wisdom. We love you and pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor Haynes. Here. Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Tyler.
Here.
Councilmember Witt. City Manager Miller.
Here.
City Attorney Litchford.
Here.
All right, the next item we have on the agenda is the Employee Milestone Awards for March. This is where we recognize milestone anniversaries for our employees. This month, for the previous month, March, we have Chris Vaughn for 25 years and Scott Darwin for 10 years. We appreciate them for their dedication, their longevity of service, and all of our employees, which we all know it makes our city special and great. So we appreciate it. They'll receive the normal certificate, a pen, and a check for their service. The next item is was a presentation to the city council members, but there was a unexpected issue that came up, and they're unable to attend tonight. So I am going to move that into the tentative agenda for the April 25th meeting. So with that being said, I will move to the next item, which is the presentation of the 2023 audit, HHM, and I believe Garrett Williams will be presenting. Is there anything that y'all need to, or just go ahead and hand it over?
Let Mr. Williams handle it. That's fine.
I am Garrett Williams.
Is it lit?
Hello.
There you go.
Okay. I'm Garrett Williams with HHM CPAs. Again, appreciate y'all having us do the audit. It's always a pleasure working with Diane, her team. And it's nice because this is close to home for me, so it's good being out here. First off, we'll start with required communications on the first few slides. Then we'll kind of look at high level, some of the numbers. And then at the very end, we'll touch on the single audit. Start off, our opinion was unmodified, clean opinion, so that's always good. You don't want another kind of opinion. Our responsibility for the audit is to follow generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards. And basically, we are here to provide a reasonable assurance that the financials are free of material misstatements. Since we don't perform 100% testing over everything, there is a chance that there could be a misstatement that we did not catch, but that is our general responsibility for the audit. We're required to be independent of the city, and the engagement team and everybody involved with the audit was independent of the city. Plan, scope, and timing of the audit. All of the objectives and the scope and timings all laid out in the engagement letter that we get signed, and we follow along within that scope. Significant accounting policies, these are all laid out in the notes of the financials in that nice big booklet you have. The only thing really that changed this year was GASB 96 was issued. This basically says that if you have IT subscriptions long-term, they now need to be on the balance sheet. Y'all did not have any material. This wasn't really impacted for the city because most of your IT subscriptions are short-term, so didn't have an impact. Accounting estimates, these are all outlined in the notes. These mainly are applicable for pension, OPEB, depreciable lives for capital assets, compensated absences. Management and accounting staff, like I said earlier, Diane, her team are always very cooperative. They do a good job. We don't have any pushback on getting items or requested things from them. So it's always a pleasure working with them. On to the next page. Consultations with other accountants. We weren't aware of any other consultations with other accountants. Corrected and uncorrected misstatements. We did have some adjustments, mainly related to deferring grant revenues, some of the grant revenues, and reconciling some of the interfund accounting. There were also no uncorrected misstatements. Fraud and illegal acts, we weren't, during the audit, we weren't aware of any fraudulent or illegal activity going on, so that's always good. Representation letter, we have certain representations that we ask of management, and those are all outlined in our representation letter that we get from them. And then hitting back over this, findings, deficiencies, we did have a few findings, 1 and 2. These are all listed in the back of your financial statements, 85 through 87 for more information, but 1 and 2 are basically, we made some adjustments, had to reconcile a couple of things, so those are listed as a finding. But we've discussed with Diane, we've talked to the team, and they're working on getting those things cleaned up for next year, so we don't expect to have future issues with those areas. Finding 3 was related to budget and actual. There were a couple of funds that were, the actual expenditures exceeded the budget amount by, I think the total was $243. We don't consider it a big deal, but we have gotten a comment from the state in the past on not making this a finding, so to please higher powers, we listed it as a finding, but we're not too concerned with that. That's all the required communications. Now we'll kind of hit some of the financial highlights of the governmental funds. We'll start with the balance sheet. The major funds were General Fund, Capital Projects Fund, Industrial Development, American Rescue Plan Act, and then we have all the non-major funds. General Fund, most of the assets are $17.9 million is related to cash and property tax receivables. So that's most of it, and the liabilities are mainly related to the deferring of those property taxes. Capital Projects Fund is pretty comparable to prior. We didn't see any big fluctuations with that. Industrial Development Fund and the ARPA Fund, both of those are mainly made up of grant funds that have not been used. So the assets and liabilities are almost fully offset. So as those grant monies are used, we'll recognize that revenue on the income statement. And then the main changes in the non-major governmental funds from prior is mainly related to solid waste fund and grant fund moving from major funds back to non-major funds just because of the way the numbers fluctuated from prior year to this year. So That's everything on the balance sheet. The next slide is revenues and expenditures. General fund, the biggest change in revenues was we saw roughly $2 million increase in sales tax revenue, which I feel like is partially due to Eastridge just growing. There's a lot going on here. I think I started on this audit 5 years ago, and Eastridge didn't have half the things that it has as of now. So it's really great to see that it's growing, and a lot of people are coming in from other places to enjoy it. So capital projects, the main difference in revenues and financing sources was $3.6 million of additional debt proceeds for this year. Industrial development, the main increase was related to grant revenues, $5 million. And then the non-major funds, the biggest changes are related to the major funds, last year's sanitation and grant funds that are now listed in non-major funds. The next slide, we look at the general fund, some of the budgetary actual to final budget numbers. The biggest variance is with the revenues. It looks like some of the grant revenues were budgeted in general fund, but we actually recognize the revenues in different funds, so it looks a little off, but they were budgeted just in a different fund. One good thing to note is general fund being the main operational fund, actual expenditures did not exceed budgeted expenditures, so the departments and accounting team's doing a good job about maintaining within the budgets, so we feel good about that. Next slide, kind of just look at your fund balance at year end. There was $11.8 million in the general fund balance at year end. Total expenditures for the year for the general fund were $21 million. So if you had to look at your fund balance as how long it would get you through, if you had no other money coming in, you're looking at roughly 6 months worth of funds available. So that's good for looking for future projects, looking for different things you want to do. You have a good fund balance for growing and expanding. The next slide is the single audit. Y'all have not had a single audit in the last couple of years. This is mainly related when you have federal grant expenditures that exceed $750,000. So between the ARPA and the TDOT projects, y'all had roughly $3.7 million in federal grant expenditures this year. So it put you over the threshold to require an additional audit procedures performed called a single audit. We did not, during the single audit, we looked at the ARPA and the TDOT projects. We did not have any findings. We did not know any issues. We look at making sure the compliance requirements for these grants are followed, and also looking at making sure that there are proper controls in place to ensure these compliance requirements are followed. And during those procedures, we did not find any issues, so the single audit went really well. One thing I'll note, down at the bottom, it says auditee qualified as low risk. It says no. Part of the criteria for that is if you haven't had a single audit in the last couple of years, you are automatically listed as a high-risk auditee, so that's the reason for the no right there. Some people normally have questions about that, but that's, I think, all I had. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer some. There's a lot to read through when you get bored or
Go ahead.
If you don't mind, I kind of like these kind of documents. Been through it. If I can just point out to some of the council members some of the pages.
yeah.
I'd like to kind of highlight to them. See, the first page I would refer to, it'd be page 8. You note about 2/3 of the way down. You'll notice that the fund balance of the city's general fund increased from fiscal year 21-22 to fiscal year 22-23, $2.887 million, which is a good thing. If you turn to page 13, you note the various balance sheets for the funds, governmental funds. The first column you have is general, page 13. You'll see our assets, our liabilities, but down towards the fund balances, you will notice $11,846,719. That is our unassigned fund balance for the general operating fund at this time. So we went up $2.8 million from one fiscal year to another, so our fund balance is relatively healthy. On to the next page is a little further back. That would be, what is these little? Okay, on page 48, and each page thereafter. Page 48 and 49 pretty much look at what the revenues came in. You'll see the budget amounts at the top. You'll see original, final, accrual, or actual. So the budget, when you look at the local sales tax, our final was $3.1 million. That was the budget. We actually brought in $4,382,000. So you can kind of look down and see what the revenue streams were, what we had budgeted, and what actually was brought in. It's kind of a little eye-opening. And then on the following page, to continue to about page 60-some, are all the governmental departments. Page 49, you'll see general government. You'll see the budget amounts, the actual, and then the variance. So the actual is what was actually expended during the fiscal year 22-23. That be all the general operating departments that we have, all of our departmental accounts. Until you get to page 69, 69 gives you an outline of the sanitation fund, the revenues we brought in, and the expenditures that were spent out. You notice our actual revenue brought in, $1,592,560. With our expenditures, our excess. So bottom line is that fiscal year, we went in the hole $463,545 for that fiscal year, 22-23, end of 23. However, our beginning fund balance was $878,113. So we started our sanitation budget starting July 1st, 2023, with a fund balance of $414,568. And I think the last item I'll just point out to you to take a look at, which is an important one, that's on page 73. It's not a vertical, it's more horizontal, 73. That is our schedule of debt service requirements that we have. Our general obligation bond for 2015, our TML bond fund 2020, general obligation bond series 2021, fire department capital outlay, which is for the truck, that will be completed payment in the next 6 years. And the TML bond fund, so that pretty well outlines what our debt service was. or is at the present time. That's all I wanted to kind of point out, just some facts and figures too.
Yeah, there's a lot to go through.
Yeah, it is. A lot of it's a lot of CPA auditing talk that that are required to put in. But what I just basically read off are the figures that when I grab this document, those are the first things I look at
Yeah.
to see how we did, what our fund balances are in our various accounts, and what our debt service is gonna look like.
These numbers here just reflect up to June the 30th of 2023. They don't
Yes,
reflect
sir. No, they do.
nothing. Okay.
June 30th.
2023.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Any other comments, council? I will say that I noticed that as well. It is amazing to get a net increase of $2.8 million to your general fund. Great job with staff, with employees holding to the budgets. A lot of work went into the budgeting. I know we're in the process for next year's as well. But kudos and thanks to all the hard work from all the way down to the department heads, to the employees, the staff. It's greatly appreciated that we're running a clean audit, we're increasing our net fund, and the city is doing well.
Thank the council too. You set the direction.
Thank you. No other questions. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
See you in August. It's not that far.
Yeah, it's not that far.
I will be bringing forth their proposal soon to do the next year's. They've just took on some more cities. Aside from us, they've just taken on the city of Cleveland and the city of Athens. And,
We don't mind that as long as we are top of the list with them.
well, yeah, when I was finished up on this one, I emailed him and said, okay, these dates will work for me, and he was excited because I said, we want to be ready.
It's a never-ending cycle. Thank you very much. All right, we will move now to the next item, which is the consent agenda. It is the approval of the minutes for the March 28, 2024 council meeting and the declaration of surplus property, administration, computer equipment. I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Councilmember Tyler. Do we have any discussion or corrections? See none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Haynes.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Tyler.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Consent agenda approved. We'll move to the next item, communications to citizens. This is an opportunity for any citizen or resident to come forward, address the council with any questions, concerns, or accolades, and everyone will have up to 5 minutes. No one is signed in, but if there's anyone in the audience who'd like to come forward, now is your opportunity. I see no one. We will move to communications of council members. I'll start on this side. Councilmember Tyler.
Yes, just a reminder, the East Ridge Optimist Club is having their community yard sale and spring market on April 20th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come out, buy some stuff.
That is where?
Here,
Okay.
out back by the dog park. Yeah, very important. But yeah, everybody come out. We're going to have stuff for sale. There's a couple vendors, there's a couple citizens out there going to be participating in the yard sale. Anybody would like to sign up for the yard sale, please reach out to the East Ridge Optimist Club on Facebook or through the website. And that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Witt.
I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed the event that the city and the council, the East Ridge Council, put on Thursday over here at the community center. That was, a lot of employers were there, and I enjoyed that.
Business Expo.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what the name of
All
it
right.
was. Thank you for doing that, Brian.
Awesome. Thank you. Anything else?
Nope.
Vice Mayor Haynes. Councilmember Cagle.
I would like our city attorney to introduce his two beautiful daughters back here. Oh, boy.
Mia and Emmeline, y'all want to say hello?
Anything else?
No, sir, it's just nice to have young people sitting out here in the audience listening and watching.
Yes, it is. All right, so I have a few things. East Ridge City Library movie night is going to be Friday, April 12th, 6 p.m. All ages are welcome. It's a free program and no registration is required. Then they also have a Lego Club, which is the first Saturday of every month from 11:30 to 12:30, ages 6 to 11. And then I can't encourage you enough to go out to the Parks and Rec. My list would be 3 pages long if I read all the activities that are going on in the park. So please go and check out our Facebook page or Parks and Rec's website. We have so many sports and other events that are going on. There is so many festivals that are scheduled and are going on, expos, car shows, etc., along with the athletic activities and events that are going. So it is jam-packed starting this weekend with a 2-day large event that we're very excited to have. Repeat vendor that keeps coming back, and go check them out. Go to Camp Jordan and see all the events that are going on. At the community center, I will mention that the spring dance is having a spring dance Friday, April the 19th, 6 p.m. Free admission. It's age 55 and older. Then the craft fair is the 27th of April from 10 to 5 at the community center. Benefits the East Ridge Library. There'll be local vendors, petting zoo, pony rides, door prizes, and book sale, and it's a free entry. And then I can't stress enough about our great and wonderful fall festival that's coming up in September. You'll hear me talk about that at every council meeting. That's going to be 10 to 5 at Camp Jordan. There's so many events that are going to go on there. There's food, music, bounce houses, treats, games. So many vendors are coming, and it seems to get bigger and larger every year. Come on up. Come on up and tell us more about it.
So as of today, we already launched it. Diane gave me permission to go ahead and launch it, and so we have our online link open, and we have 40 vendors already, and we're just in April. So, and we're looking, I'm already talking to bands, Cameron and Hannah and Diane and us have kind of met, so we can go ahead and get the financials ready. So July 1, when our new budget rolls around, I'll start booking all of our bands. We'll do the petting zoo, we'll do the bounce houses. I'm actually looking at adding face painter support for the library this year. And then we've got walking balloon animals, you name it. We've got, so many different people contacting us for it. So we're looking forward to it.
Awesome. We are too. Thank you. That's all I have, so I'll hand it over to City Manager Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple items here. First off, our road resurfacing for fiscal year 23-24 is just about completed. We had a couple dollars left over, so we've added Early and Heather to the list. And any dollars that we have left over from that, I'm sure we'll have a little bit, will be rolled over till next year's road resurfacing program. McBrien Road was completed. It was closed out. The project is closed. It was inspected, so that one is done. We're hopeful that next year's John Ross Road from Ringgold Road south to our city limits goes as smoothly as this one did, but they did a good job, so we're pleased with that one. North Mac Smith Road, work should be starting on Monday, the 15th. They're looking at about 260 days to get that project completed. They've got a lot of their heavy equipment over there, their work trailer, and their supplies, plenty of pipe and storm inlets. So we're looking forward to that project moving ahead. For those of you in the animal world, our animal shelter is moving along. It's taking form.
Yes, it
I was
is.
down there at noon today, except for the part of the administration, all the kennels and the other portions of the animal shelter. The walls are all up. Hopefully next week, be looking to start the roof with the trusses starting at the south end and moving north. So Pending good weather, and I think the sun is gonna be out most of the time next week, we just don't see any rain in the forecast, we'll be able to move this project further ahead. On the Ringgold Road multimodal project, same goes from there. We lost 3 days this week due to rain. Tomorrow's supposed to be nice, so we are gonna be out there working. Tally's completed with the concrete work on the north side of Ringgold Road. That's all the sidewalks and concrete except for the slight couple pieces in front of Broom's driveway and sidewalk, and that will be poured tomorrow. Therefore, hopefully 5 o'clock tomorrow, concrete work will be done. Tally's also completed the dumping of the topsoil and the seeding of the areas between the curb and the sidewalk on the north side of Ringgold Road. That will be completed tomorrow. And Tally is scheduled for asphalt paving along the outside lane of the north side of Ringgold Road between McBrien and Belvoir later in the week, next week. And that's only going to be 25 feet on each side of the storm inlets. We are not going to go continuously just due to cost. One was just doing the 25 feet on both sides, about $104,000. Doing the whole outside lane was $300 and some thousand, and I just did not have that dollars to add that in, so we're not doing that. And then some good news, the outside lane of westbound Ringgold Road from McBrien to Belvoir be open to the traffic, 2 lanes, by a week from tomorrow, by the 19th of April.
I'm writing that down.
You are.
That
Mr.
is
Sykes,
great
am I
news.
correct on that? Yes.
Hallelujah.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank
I got
you.
one question.
Yes, sir.
You said the north side, the field dirt and grass seed and everything has been put in.
Yes.
How about the left side? I mean, with the south side?
South side's done.
All right, how about up at the corner of, where Kingwood and Ringo Road intersect there at the red
I
light?
talked about that. Are we done up there?
Kingwood and Ringgold Road?
Yes. That was the,
My understanding is we're complete. Is there something that,
Well, it hadn't been sodded or seeded or, really, I'd like to see concrete poured on around through there because, yeah.
I'll get with Shane tomorrow.
okay. We have not run the preliminary inspections yet. They are going to be started on the 24th or 25th of this month. I've got my Public Works, Traffic, Jeff Sykes from ASA, his project manager, and that will be, and Tally will be initially do the preliminary walk-in from one end to the other end, both the south and the north side. Once that preliminary list is done, and I know we've got a lot of little odds and ends we've got to do, we will get all that done, and then we will do that inspection again, this time with TDOT. Because it's their project and they've got to sign off on it. So we have got to have this project completed by June 28th. We're hopeful we'll have it completed by then, easily by then.
Oh, there's one location up here that I go get my cleaning done up here at the cleaners, where they come in and put the asphalt in, they kind of come around the corner. I didn't go up there today to check to see, but I'm kind of worried about the water, because there's no drain behind the,
Professional cleaners, I
Yes,
go
sir.
there too.
yeah, there's a, I mean, I'm just worried about the water collecting there and backing up into their parking spaces.
Councilmember, what we'll be doing is the punch list.
Okay,
So we'll do a preliminary punch list and we'll list everything. So the item at Kingwood, if there's any areas that are ponding water or anything like that, it'll be on that
okay.
punch list. And then Tally will be required to go back and to correct all of those measures. So we'll start that on the 24th. We're actually going to start going through and listing things sooner, but it's one of those things we'll do, I think, the south side first on a punch list there, and then Tally will come back and start correcting some of the sidewalk that needs to be replaced, the stuff at Kingwood, and then we'll move to the north side of the road and do the punch list on that side as well.
Just things I've noticed, places that I
no,
go
we want
to.
it, that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
As many eyes as we can on it.
I'm sorry?
As many eyes as we can get on it.
Absolutely, absolutely, because once they pull off in June, they will not be back. It'll be closed out. Get it all taken care of. Thank you, Mayor.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, the next item, we don't have any old business, so the next item is going to be new business. Item A, resolution number 3533.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council approving an appointment by Vice Mayor Haynes to the East Ridge Board of Zoning Appeals.
Yes. Vice Mayor Haynes, do you have?
I would like to reappoint Mitch Qualls. He has been serving for several years and would like to do it again, and that's what I would like to recommend.
Thank you. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3533.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 3533.
Second?
A motion to approve resolution 3533 with the reappointment of Mitch Qualls and a Councilmember Witt, and a second by Councilmember Tyler. Do we have any discussion? See none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Haynes,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3533 pass. We'll move to item B, resolution number 3534.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council approving an appointment by Councilmember Witt to the East Ridge Board of Zoning Appeals.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to reappoint Jane Sharp. She's with us today. I want to thank her. She has done a fabulous job, and we appreciate her wanting to serve again.
Thank you. And thank Ms. Sharp for her service. I'll entertain a motion from the council.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 3534.
Second.
A motion to approve by Councilmember Tyler and a second by Councilmember Cagle. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Haynes,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3534 approved. We'll move to item C, resolution number 3535.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a lease purchase agreement with Motorola Solutions for 19 in-car video systems through the Sourcewell Purchasing Alliance contract listing 1012233-MOT.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Chief
City
Olson.
Council, this is to lease, to purchase. They will become our equipment at the end of 5 years for 19 in-car cameras through, well, the parent company is Motorola. The payments are split out over 5 years, the first year being $43,795, and we did include that in this year's budget.
Thank you, sir. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3535.
Make a motion to approve resolution 3535.
Second.
A motion to approve by Councilmember Tyler and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion?
I have one question. Chief and I discussed this, but all right, now on this line 12 in the Motorola pricing sheet here, all right, he's got $516, so $9,840 added. And he tells me that this $9,804 is going to be added to this $40,819 for the next 4 years.
The $9,804, that's the video as a service for ALPR. So these cameras do operate as automatic license plate readers. This contract does include that first year. If we continue to use those cameras, they would have to be included in future budgets at $9,804 per year. If we continue, we can choose not to operate them as ALPRs.
Okay, so we need to, like, next year, we're gonna have to add $9,000 if we add these 19.
We will have to put that on, I think it would come under contract services. That would be something that we would add in that line of the budget. But by the
Is
time we
that
get
like a
these,
subscription?
yes. So by the time we get these and get these installed, it will be next year's budget that we'll be working on this time of year when we need to worry about the $9,804.
Okay.
Talking about the budget for 25,
Yes, sir.
26.
But then we discussed the 10-car cameras we've already got.
Correct.
That we're gonna have to add those to that, so we're gonna have to budget for 29 subscriptions
Those 10
at
that we,
$9,000
I'm sorry.
at $516 per year.
Those that we have, the 10 that we have existing, that are the same type of cameras, yes, those should be included in this year's budget to pay for.
Right, but then next year we'll have to include 29 instead of
Next year's
19 and
budget.
10.
Correct.
So that'll be, okay, okay. I just
We're expensive.
want to be clear on what we're doing here.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? See none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Haynes.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes,
Councilmember Tyler.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes,
Mayor Williams.
Yes, resolution number 3535 approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to item D, resolution number 3536.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into an agreement with ASA Engineering and Consulting for resident project representative inspection services for the North Mac Smith Road widening improvement project.
Yes, Mayor. Oh, Jeff, go ahead.
Oh, as everybody's aware, North Mac Smith Road was designed and construction is beginning on it. We had, I think initially, years back, when we did the design, we had authorized the design to proceed, and the question was the RPR included in that? And I guess I don't really know that it was. I know that Chris had brought some stuff before council, but I don't know if it was. So this is the proposal to provide 270 days worth of inspection, full-time inspection out on the Mac Smith Road project. It's a little bit different than the TDOT project because the TDOT project has a lot of strings that comes with it. And, you know, so this one will be a little bit less intensive, but part of what we'll be doing is listed in the proposal, but basically it's making sure that it's constructed according to the plans and specifications, that the materials are incorporated into the project or what has been asked for, and all quality, and also to the administrative side to make sure that the contractor is getting paid, and we're verifying that the work that he does is being compensated for, and that he's completing the work in accordance with the contract.
Thank you, sir. Anything to add?
I don't have anything to add. He said it all.
All right. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3536.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 3536.
Second.
A motion to approve by Vice Mayor Haynes and a second by, I think, Councilmember Tyler, maybe edged Councilmember Cagle out just for a bit.
Sorry.
It's all right. Any discussion?
yes, sir.
Yes.
I noticed we had a lot of uh-ohs and ooh-oohs on the module up here with the sewer lines, gas lines, power lines. Okay, do we have anything figured in this 162 for the 270 days down here for this, or this might be come back as an upcharge?
No, this is for the services of doing the inspection, the construction and the utility relocation that is occurring on Mac Smith Road would be under the construction contract. We can say that we don't have the sewer issues or the gas issues. We do have some utility poles that have EPB, then AT&T, then Comcast that all have to be relocated, basically moved back. They're in phase 2 of the project, so basically that allows the contractor to go ahead and work on the Cracker Barrel side of the project, get that done, and then by the time he moves to the other side, EPB, and those other utilities should be out of the way. We do have a meeting set Friday with all the utility companies to go over exactly that and to make sure that everybody's committed to getting everything moved before the contractor moves to that side of the road.
Have no rainy day built into it, you know, like we can't work today and tomorrow, and,
Well, so yeah, so the 270 calendar days does allow for basically rain days and things like that. And I think that, you know, basically if we didn't account for rain days, it would take probably closer to about 180 days to complete the job by adding in the utility relocation and the weather days that you can kind of anticipate. That's where you come up with the 270 calendar days.
thank you.
Sir, any other questions? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Haynes.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes,
Councilmember Tyler.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
yes,
Mayor Williams.
Yes, resolution number 3536 approved. We will move to item E, resolution number 3537.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council to waive the fees for use of the East Ridge Community Center by East Ridge High School for their senior class field day.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Collins.
Yes, Mayor and Council. East Ridge High School has requested use of the East Ridge Community Center on May 8th of this year for a senior class field day. They are asking the city to waive the fees associated with renting the community center. The high school will utilize the center to supply different activities and awards for the seniors. This is a first-time event that the high school might consider doing annually. Staff does recommend approving that the high school be able to use the community center to celebrate the class of 2024 and waiving the fee. And all required documents are on record with the city recorder.
Thank you, ma'am. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3537.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 3537.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Councilmember Tyler. Do we have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Haynes,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3537 approved. We'll move to item F, resolution number 3538.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council authorizing the city manager to approve the attached change order request, Form number 2, Ace Engineering and Consulting in regard to the Ringgold Road, State Route 8 Ringgold Road Corridor Project, multimodal project.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Jeff Sykes again, Ace
Sykes.
Engineering.
I can say that this is the last time we'll come to you about the Ringgold Road project for a time extension. So basically, we waited until, we ran out of money for the CEI budget, and I believe it was November is when it was supposed to run out. We were able to kind of extend it until I think January is about when we ran out. But we wanted to wait until find out for certain when the contractor was going to be finished, make sure there was nothing else in order to request a final change order for the CEI services. One thing to note is that the budget includes it through June. We anticipate will be done well ahead of June, and the plan is to reassign personnel from Ringgold Road to Max Smith. So the cost, it's a cost plus type of project. So basically, if those dollars aren't spent, then that money stays with the city. So it's not a lump sum contract. It's just simply hourly, not to exceed. But it does allow us to go through June. We anticipate that will be done before June. And then also Shane will be rolling off of, as things are slowing down and they're doing punch list work, he'll be moving to the Max Smith Road project. So his time will come off of this one and go on to the Max Smith, and he'll kind of be going back and forth. So that would be a more of a savings, because really the budget was for full-time inspection. But we think we're going to be able to kind of just rotate one person back and forth and be able to do it with less effort.
Thank you, sir. Council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3538.
I make a motion to approve resolution 3538.
Second.
We have a motion approved by Councilmember Tyler and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Haynes,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3538 passed, approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's all we have on the main agenda. So the next item is discussion of the tentative agenda for April 25th, 2024. As I mentioned, the presentation to our council members has been postponed to the next meeting, so I'll have that on the agenda. There is no old business, so under new business, there is a unnumbered resolution, approval of bid for bike pedestrian trail at Camp Jordan, bid opening 4/17/2024. Ms. Scholes?
Yes, the Parks and Rec Department is asking for approval from mayor and council for the acceptance of a qualified company to design and install the 3-mile walking trail and 3-mile bike trail that will be located on the 55 acres across the bridge at Camp Jordan. Once this project is approved and completed, we will finish out the requirements of the T-Deck partial conversion of Camp Jordan in accordance with the Land and the Water Fund. Those bids are set to open next Wednesday, April 17th at 2:30.
Thank you, ma'am. Council, any questions?
Well, I got one. Yes, I usually do. But anyway, we get a lot of complaints about bathrooms being around the original walkway that we've got. Are there any bathrooms gonna be, of course, I know it's a bad place to even put anything down there.
That is 55 acres straight into the floodplain. I mean, we're looking to do a natural surface trail.
I was just wondering, cause
Yeah.
we'll be getting those complaints too down there.
You will. I mean, unfortunately, we know how the conversion worked, where we swapped everything. We even have a 180-day clause on this for, like, the company to even get it done, because it's gonna be summer months before they can even get back there and start it, because it's gonna have to be dry. So right now, it's nothing but water.
It's gonna be asphalt.
No, it will be a natural trail surface, just like the one we have now. Between the two canoe launches, we have the 2-mile trail that's there now, that's literally natural cut, and then it's straight down to dirt. This will be the same thing.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions, council? See none. The next item is an unnumbered resolution approval for proposal of audiovisual system at the new multipurpose pavilion.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, I'm handling this one. We are withdrawing this from the agenda on April 25th. We opened up the bids yesterday, and the amount was way out of control, and I don't think we cannot go with it. It was in excess of $240,000, and I just don't have it to approve an audiovisual system to that grand magnitude for our pavilion. It's got to be brought way down in cost to even bring it back to you, so staff's got to go back and reevaluate what we want, maybe start small and build it over the years, but I'm trying to keep this project on our multi-purpose pavilion under $6 million, and that includes AV too. I can't be adding additions for everything we're looking at, adding to the building, so. We gotta reevaluate this one, so it's off the agenda for April 25th.
Thank you, sir. Any questions related to that, council?
What else might we be looking at?
Number one, is the other thing yeah, we are doing some cost reductions on the building now, so we can keep it under that. And one of the biggest items we're gonna be looking at is, kitchen, our catering kitchen, even though it's not gonna be a full-blown kitchen with stoves and ovens and things on that line, we are gonna have to acquire, kitchen equipment, refrigerator, freezer, that kind of bit, tables, chairs, probably not tables, because I think we can move the tables down from our arena and bring them up here, but chairs, what's the other thing? AV was probably the biggest one, because
Yeah.
we certainly wanted to have a good sound system that was superior, but this one had all the bells and whistles to it, believe me, and it takes us over that $6 million amount, so we've gotta.
We're looking at a commercial kitchen.
No,
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 it'll
commercial.
be a catering kitchen.
Catering kitchen,
Yes,
okay.
because
It'll
then
be
that
catering,
includes
yes.
fire suppression and that, yeah, we're not
Okay.
doing that. It's a
We'll have
catering kitchen.
warmers that we'll have to buy on that one, but it won't be part of the bid, but it will be included in with the $6 million.
Well, in the catering part of it, will we have to have a ventilation system? Because
Not-
we run into that over here when we were wanting to put the warmers underneath the,
Well,
We'll have to have some form of a ventilation system, but not the
fabric.
fire suppression
Yeah,
hood
okay.
hood system that we have to put over the burners, grills, and the deep fryers.
so that was the difference. Mackey was cooking on open flames
Yeah,
inside the,
well,
so
that's-
you can't do that. You can have the little burners under, like, a catering regular dish with the little burners, that's fine. But Mackey at that time was doing it like full
Well,
flame,
that's kind
flames.
of
We
what I
can't do
was
that in the building.
insinuating that these
Yeah.
might be doing.
Yeah, that can be done
Yeah.
outside, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we could find a way to come up with the money for the audio and video, because when people want to have weddings and whatnot,
We'll have,
there already is,
Right,
we can
we'll-
make more money when we rent.
we will have something put in place but it may be something, that we'll have to build on over a year or so, because there are other projects that we're looking at doing, and if I put it all in this one, I'm not gonna have enough for the other ones.
Still planning on having like a
Fireplace in the middle.
No. We're going to, what we're going to look at is, we're doing the building at this time, and then we're gonna have the patio, and we'll have, what, fire
The fire pits,
fire
yes,
pits
outside.
outside on the patio. That's what we'll have. That's an ad alternate. That'll be an ad alternate.
So we just went to the Commons last week, and they said that was the worst decision they ever made, was putting the fireplace in the middle of their venue that they rent now, because they can't stage so much around it. And then they're also now taking that, you know, they put doors all the way around theirs. They're gonna take those out now, board it up so they can put air conditioner in, because it's not feasible for them to do it any other way. Where we kind of literally avoided that with how we did just the 3 doors on the sides, already trying to think ahead of those mistakes they had made. So they're already doing, I think, the 3rd revamp up there, and they're gonna take out all their bathrooms that were outside too, do something different with that, so they're, yeah.
Mention the kitchen. or the-
And they didn't have much of anything in their kitchen, and they added a catering kitchen, so we went up there and looked at that, which, you know, we had already looked at other places, since I'm so used to doing that now at Camp Jordan, and we'll have everything that we need. I mean, I think they had some soup warmers and stuff that we hadn't thought of. But other than that, I mean, their catering kitchen was a little bit smaller than what ours will be. And you have no access to drive up as a caterer to drop off and do things, where we have included that in our specs, that H&K presented to you. Also, we, again, with the architects with H&K, Michael is going to vet a couple of different sound and audio people they have used on other projects. And once he vets them, then we'll all meet together again as, the city, or Mr. Miller, excuse me, and Cameron will all get back with H&K to kind of go back through the specs of what we want. Because like you, Vice Mayor Hayes, we want everything for, if it's going to be a wedding venue / superior venue than what Camp Jordan is now. We want to make it, presentable for everybody.
Yeah, I would agree. I appreciate you keeping,
Still gonna have ceiling fans and things like that on the
Ceiling
No, it
fan?
has air conditioner.
Air conditioning.
Yeah. I don't think anything we've ever seen in the drawings had the ceiling fans.
How about when the doors are standing open? We're not gonna be running air conditioning.
No.
We're gonna be
No,
running
no,
No,
ceiling
you'll,
fans.
you'll
Yeah.
have, if I'm correct, you'll have the system like what we have at the arena, where you can turn on, where the system just kind of runs without the air conditioner. It's just like a fan that runs through the ceiling, which is what we have at Camp Jordan now.
The doors, you're gonna have 3 garage doors, 13 feet in width on the north side, and 3 garage doors, 13 feet in width on the south side. So when those are opened up, you're gonna have a wind flow through there, so you won't need the air conditioning. On a nice day in the fall, nice day in the spring, you can open that up and have it open for that. Also, it's more conducive in regard to farmers markets, to be able to have the pass-through, because that's one of the uses that we want to have at the multipurpose pavilion. And then we can close them down and then put the air conditioner on or the heat on. We've been fortunate enough to have basically the same architect who did the design of the Commons way back doing ours, and she sat down and pretty much let us know, well, these are things that Collegedale is looking at now to do over again, so maybe you want to do it right the first time and get all this included in that.
we gained from lessons learned from that project.
Yes.
I agree. I appreciate the being strict and cognizant of the dollars, but I too would like to make sure that we have some type of decent sound system. So looking
We will
forward to
have
y'all
a-
coming back to us with options.
Yes, the sound system today does not have to be hardwired, so I'm not worried about putting the sound system in hardwired. Everything today is Wi-Fi and so forth, so we can easily build the system and put it together and get a good one in there. not necessarily for weddings, but I'm looking for more when we have some form of small conventions or gatherings or dinners or breakfasts where we have a speaker and you've got 500 people in there. You want to be able to have somebody standing up there at the microphone and be able to project and have everybody in the room be able to hear, as well as presentations too. That's the other thing that we had embodied in this RFQ.
Awesome. Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. The next item is unnumbered resolution, approval of engineering and architectural firm to provide design services and grant administration for the renovation of the community center through the LPRF grant.
So right now with the LPRF at the community center, we have completed the first stages of everything. So the contract is done, our boundary map, I think it's 6 different steps we've completed. Our Title VI is done. So now we're on to the part of where we have to, again, solicit a firm. So Parks and Rec is going to seek approval from mayor and council for the acceptance of a qualified firm for engineering, the architectural design services and grant administration for the LPRF project for the community center. Again, it's our next step in basically getting this grant started, which we have to show progress after the contract is signed within the first 6 months, which we have done. Those proposals are also due next Wednesday on April 17th here at 2:30.
Thank you, ma'am. Council, any questions? I see none. Is there any other business add to the agenda for April 25th? See none. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone coming tonight, and I will adjourn this meeting. Have a good evening. Thank you.